Hey guys, welcome back to Mediocre Minecraft. This is episode 2. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to do a couple things today. We need to do a little bit of exploring because I found something interesting, so we're going to knock that out in the first part of the episode. And then I want to work on the interior of the house that we built last episode. And I also want to work on a crane and sort of a barge, like a super smelter barge. So that's what we're going to do. Let's jump right into it because I have a feeling this episode is going to turn out a little bit longer than we expected. I have been just collecting some resources around the base, doing a little farming and whatnot. And I keep on being interrupted by hostile mobs, a lot of zombies coming out of nowhere. And it took me a while to figure out. But towards the end of last episode, I found this little crevasse, started torching it up, and then sure enough, a couple things. One is there's an abandoned mine shaft down here. And then I think if we go over here, we can see that it opens up into a pretty large cave system, it looks like. I haven't dropped down very far yet. You can see it's still pretty dark. I did, let me drop down here. I did drop down into the mine shaft just for a moment. But as you can see, I didn't get very far. I just sort of wanted to torch up the immediate surroundings. So yeah, let's shield up. This opening is amazing, though. I'm actually the more I think about it, the more I'm concerned about creepers and whatnot dropping down on top of me. So maybe the play is to light some of this up first, and I think that makes a lot of sense. So let's run around and spam some torches as best we can. There we go. There are the baddies. Okay, and this is a good one. I'm not going to complain about this. Oh, and we have our next loot chest. Oh, okay. And this is a geode, I'm assuming? It sure is. Oh, weird. It's a geode mixed with a, there's still mine shaft down there. How interesting. It is right in the middle. It is right in the middle of mineshaft generation. That is wild. Let's get this. Let's get this torched up. And this doesn't look like it goes off anywhere. No, it looks like we're just sort of in the middle of an open geode. Yeah, look at this. Wow, this is a large geode, though. Holy moly. We are going to take a couple amethyst. We're going to take a couple amethyst crystals, just in case we want to build a, in case we want to craft a spyglass, or maybe we'll need, some tinted glass. What do we got? 24 of them. That should be a good start. Let me put coordinates on the screen here, and I'm just going to take a quick screenshot just so I remember where this is, or I guess in case I don't remember where this is. Pretty sprawling mine shaft, I guess. All right, we got our first redstone. We got more rails, more activator rails, and another name tag. Oh, we have a spawner. It's a spider spawner. I'm not sure how useful that's going to be. Torch up the area around it. But we will have loot, another name tag, more seeds, another disc. All right, so I think we've done about as much as we can with this cave and the mine shaft beneath it. We're going to retreat back to the base and sort of see what we got as far as loot goes. I think we did pretty well. I think we got like 3 name tags, with which on its own is probably worth it. But yeah, I'll check in when we get back to the base. All right, so just getting back to the base, I just did a pretty solid resource gathering session. You can see all the iron and coal that I found. I found some more stony peaks right behind the cherry grove biome, actually, over here. Found a whole other set of stony peaks, and so we were able to grab a whole bunch of cobble, coal, and iron from over there, which was pretty awesome. Actually, we'll smelt down this cobblestone as well. I also have a whole bunch of brown wool. That's how you know I went through a savanna biome on the way, because those sheep are real popular in savanna biomes now, I believe. And we also got a whole bunch of, a reasonable amount of calcite, 3 stacks of calcite. I had room left in my inventory, so I figured might as well. We'll add this to our sort of generic stone chest here. Now, I think while this stuff smelts down, I think what we're going to do is do a little work on the interior here. I just realized something. Nobody reminded me or told me that I screwed up. But I think, I put all my cobblestone in the fuel chest instead of the items to be smelted chest. So let's fix that. Now, one thing this rain has me thinking about is Humphrey. Hopefully he's doing okay out there. Hopefully he's found like food and shelter and whatnot. I've been thinking about him a lot, but I also realize that, it's going to take us a while to find him. This is a huge world we're in, right? I mean, it is a big old sandbox. So yeah, hopefully he's doing okay. We still want to find him and whatnot. It's just going to take a little while. We're just still building up the infrastructure to do so. So I want to start working on this interior here to get the episode started. And I'm still sort of working out in my head what rooms will be what. However, I think that either this room or the one downstairs should be a kitchen. I think that makes the most sense. And this probably makes the most sense. It's the largest room. We can have a lot of fun with that. So let's get building. I'm just going to start. I don't usually plan a whole lot when doing this sort of thing. So we're just going to sort of place blocks and see how it goes. The first thing I'm going to do is put a bunch of furnaces down on the ground, just because I think the texture looks really cool for like a tiled floor for a kitchen. The next thing we're going to do is do some sort of smoker kind of action. And to do this, we're going to need to place down some campfires. And I think we can do it like this. All right, now we do have a couple issues here, because what I want to do is sort of have a chimney or a vent going up through the roof. The problem is, because we have slabs up there, that's not going to be possible to do that. I can't, we can't use one half slab or one slab of one material and another slab of another. So what we're going to do, I don't know if it's going to work out in the long run, but we're going to take out some of the ceiling here. Oops, getting hit by the fire. And we're going to put our smooth stone up top there. And I think if we do this, we can cover it up. We can cover it up when we work on the upstairs. I think that's most likely going to be a bedroom. Whoops, don't want a D on there. And then if we put our smokers in here, it sort of mimics a range with a hood on it. I think that looks pretty. I think that looks pretty awesome, actually. Right now, next up, I think we need sort of a countertop. So we're going to do an upside down stair and a slab, another slab, and then we're going to place down 2 cauldrons. We're going to fill those both with, do I have 2 waters? Yeah, I do. Okay, we're going to fill those both with water. All right, now on the left side, we're going to do something similar. We're going to bring this over a couple slabs and then another upside down stairs. Very good. Give ourselves a little bit more counter space. And now what we're going to try to do is do some trapdoors to make sort of a side for this counter. Maybe do like a little thing of shelves or something. All right, that's perfect. Next up, I want to do some more of those racks, those sort of like fish racks that we had outside, but I want to make it an island this time, you know, sort of in the middle of the room as opposed to on the wall, so that it, you know, sort of creates maybe like 2 separate rooms here. So I'm thinking somewhere right about here, maybe. I think that'll work. And we're just going to do 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to put these out immediately as to not, you know, hurt ourselves, since that's what I'm apt to do. And then we are going to use trapdoors again. 1, 1, 2, 3, just like that. Yeah, that should work all right, I think. We might bring it down a level, actually. We might not need... let's see. We might not need 3 of them. We might just... 2 of them might just be plenty. Do another one there. And then, yeah, actually, I think we're going to take those top trapdoors off. I don't think we need... I don't think we need them. I think that's going to be plenty of space. And also, I think the idea that you can see, you know, it's not sort of dividing the room so much. I think that works out pretty well for us. All right, now over here, I think an easy thing to do would be to put some barrels up top here as storage. And again, we can put some trapdoors under them, and that way they'll look like there's a shelf, you know, kind of offering some support. And if we want, I don't know if this will work or not, but let's see. How does that look? You know, I think this could work. Let's see here. Boom and boom. Yeah, that's not bad, actually. I think we can live with that, yeah. We're going to need to put something there. Maybe that's where... I was thinking about maybe doing some cookbooks, some shelves for cookbooks. Maybe that would be an okay spot for that. Or we just do a... let's see. What could we do here? We could do a... we could do a spruce slab, right? Can we do that? We can do that, okay. I really would like to have a couple... actually, I think even 2 might look better, in all honesty. I'm not really sure why it matters. I feel like you're supposed to do things in odd pairs. But yeah, I think the 2 might work best there, maybe? No, maybe not. Let's do this. I think that will work. I think that will work better once we get some books in there. And then we can do this, and this, and this. And that should... Okay, yeah, I like that. I think that looks good. And then I think the only other thing that I want to do is maybe put another barrel up there just to fill up that shelf. I think it looks a little bit more natural. So this is a good start. What else can we do here, guys? Now, one other thing we could do is make a table. People are going to need somewhere to eat, and this room would make a lot of sense. You got the windows and whatnot. So let's see what we can do here. I am thinking something like this. Right. We'll break these guys and do it on the reverse. That works. And then I think we can use trap doors on the sides to make it look a little more table-like. And now the question is, can we fit chairs? And this is always the thing with with tables like this. Actually, you know what we're going to do? If we bring this out one more, if we make the table a bit longer, we can set the chairs in the center, which might make a little bit more sense visually. So let's do that. And now the chairs are going to be spruce, and then we're going to try putting a spruce door. That's going to be tough. Well, okay, we could do that. That's actually just fine. Okay, yeah, all right. And so I think that works. I think that works reasonably well, I believe. So one other thing I was thinking of, and I don't know if this will work in the long run, but if I put a pot down here, put a slab there so I can use the ceiling, and then do this, do we think that works? I think that works all right. You know, I don't think it's amazing, but I think I can live with the with that ceiling height being lower above it, especially when we get some glowberries on there. I don't think people will notice all that much, honestly. And then I was also thinking we could put another one of our glowberry pots over here for right now. We can always move it in the future. But let's do that and that. And now what we can do is use a little bone meal, and I believe you get instant glowberries here. We'll do 1 and 2 in the window there, and then all of a sudden we have a lot more light in the room. We'll probably need one more. Light source somewhere, but we'll figure it out. I'm not too worried about it. All right, so I think this top room should be our bedroom. I think it makes the most sense. It is at the top. It is the it is the penthouse suite after all. So let's start working on this. And I think what we're gonna do is I have this idea that we're gonna do. That's not gonna work. All right, already doing the mediocre Minecraft thing. We're gonna do this. There we go. Okay, so we got our 3 barrels, and then what I want to do is do 3 stairs on those barrels. I'm going to grab a red bed, and what I want to do is put it here, sort of. Can I do this? Oh, wow, that worked actually. No, that worked really well. I wasn't expecting that. And then what I'd like to do is put some bookcases. Let's do that there. Maybe a chiseled bookcase here. Maybe let's see, do I have I do have a chest. Okay, maybe a chest here. And then also maybe bookcases over here. Do that, do another one of those. And I think that looks honestly pretty reasonable. I think I need to get some carpet going. And I also think maybe a lectern might end up looking pretty nice. But what we could do is, I think I have some trapdoors low, but maybe only 2 of them. Maybe we don't do all the way over to the window there, and then sign. Okay. Yeah, we can live with that, I think. Oops. Except we don't want any text on this sign. Let's erase that. I think that'll work, though. I mean, we can sleep in the bed, obviously, either way. But if you come up here, it looks about right. I wonder if I can put a sign. Can I do one here? Oh, yeah, I can. Okay. I kind of dig that. And then honestly, if we really want, we could put a lantern right on top of this bookshelf. And then we drop down. I think that's pretty awesome. I'm not going to lie. I think we need a carpet here, and I need to work on the sheep situation and the wool situation. But I'm digging this. I really am. And then what I think I'd like to do is put sort of a little glowberry action up here. Now we can use the transitive property, and we'll do one there and one there and one there and one there, one there, one there, one there, and one there. Oh, we just lost another one. And just like that, we have more campfires. Yay, technology. Oops, and I just lost another one. Man, I need to be a little bit more careful with placing these. All right, so we got one there. We're going to do one over the top there, one there. Oh, dude. One there. One there. One there. What do we have left? One? Yeah, okay, we'll go one there. Let's smelt these all out. Snuff these out, right? Smelt is not the right word for that. And now let's do some glowberry action. We have 11. That means we can plant 11 sets of glowberry bushes or vines or whatever they are. And then as we, as they grow, we'll get glowberries, and we can always use bone meal if we need more. So we'll give it a little time to work there. I think that'll look pretty good though on the top. I think it makes sense. We have a roof deck, might as well grow some greenery up here. And I mean, honestly, glowberries are one of the better food sources in the game. So we have this outside of our little room here with our loft bed and our little bookcases and whatnot. I think we are doing pretty well for ourselves, honestly. And yeah, a little bit of bone meal. We get a whole rack of glowberries. Another thing I think we can do while we're in the kitchen area is take out some of these planks. And what I want to do is sort of kind of like a rug kind of thing, kind of straddling these two rooms. And I think what we're going to use are smithing tables. And I think what we can do, I've seen some other creators do this. Oops. And then can I do this? No, that's not right. Okay, what if I do... There we go. Okay, that's what I wanted to do. Now, how did I get that angle? Whoops. Is it that? Okay, that works. Okay, I see. Okay, that's awesome. And yeah, and so I think, what I've seen people do is the leaf litter basically ends up looking like a pattern on a rug. But yeah, I think that looks pretty good. It's too bad there's the obvious sort of like lines around the blocks, but I still think it makes actually a pretty neat kind of carpeted surface. If it was raised, yeah, that would be better. But as far as I know, we can't stick the leaf litter on top of any of the raised surfaces that at least I know of. It needs to be on on the top of a block. So, but yeah, I think that'll work. And what it does is, as Lebowski will let you know, it really ties the room together. So I think next what I'd like to do is get the crane onto the dock here. You'll see I've sort of opened up a space here. I have some campfires down. And I think what we're going to do is use regular stone as the base for this crane. Next up, I'm going to try to use some black stone. I don't know if this is going to work or not, honestly, but we'll give it a shot and see. So we're going to do 2 pieces of black stone, and now let's get our scaffolding out so we can work above it. And then let's put a stone wall on top of that, and then an anvil on top of the wall. And I think the anvil and the wall sort of make a pivot point. So we have our anvil on top now, and that's sort of our pivot point along with the wall. So I'm going to try to hop over there, and we are going to do another piece of smooth deep slate or polished deep slate. And we're actually going to put 4 more behind as well. And that's sort of going to act as the, like it's the counterweight, I guess, for a crane. And now I think what we're going to do is we're going to put a grindstone attached to the side of this block, and then a stair, if I can get it there, right on the edge of this block facing downwards. All right, perfect. Okay. I think this is going to work. And then on top of this stair, we are going to bridge out with spruce. So we got our spruce slabs. Now, since we're up here, let's run some chain, just in case we don't get up here again. Ooh, this is going to be tough. Can I stand on top and do? No, because it won't let me. Oh, there we go. Okay, very nice. All right. Now, I think what we could do is we could put spruce. Oh, sorry. Not. I'm so used to saying spruce at this point. We can put some deep slate slabs on top here. And what I'm hoping that will do is facilitate us hanging another grindstone downwards, so it sort of connects to both sets of chains. So let's see, how do we gonna do this? Do we have 11? We're gonna pillar up with some stone. I think that's gonna be the easiest way. All right, so we pillared up with some stone so we can actually sort of work underneath the crane here, at least a bit. And I'm hoping that if we put a yeah. So that works well. So the other chain attaches to that, and then what we can do is we can hang chain down from it, and hopefully it'll look like it's like where they meet, you know, where the two sets of chain meet, and then we can put some sort of sort of a pallet or something underneath here. So I think what I'll do for right now is let's see, what should we do? Maybe just a you know, I think I'm actually going to make this one block closer to the water. I'm not even sure how to describe it. It's sort of, it makes me feel like there's a little bit more, I don't know, like urgency or something. I'm not sure. Sorry, I'm not really sure what the right word is. But let's put our slab there, and then we are gonna get our pillar taken care of. All right. Next up, I think we're gonna put some strapping around the around this sort of weight section that we have. So we're going to run it on all sides here. And then let's see if we can do it from here. I'm not sure if we can. Oh, it looks like we can. All right. And we're going to go all the way around to this to the set of upside down stairs. I think is going to be what's sort of best for us. Want to make one quick change because I think it needs a little bit of variation, minimal variation, but variation. I think we're going to put trap doors on the side of the full blocks here, where the crane sort of connects. Whoops, probably should have used my axe there. But I think that will make it look just a little bit beefier. It's a small change, but I think one that works. And then also we're going to put trap doors around the bottom here. Again, it'll make it look. Oh, trying that again. It should make it look just a little bit beefier than it did previously. And given that it's the base of a crane, I figure it looking a little bit beefier is probably a good thing. So let's take this scaffolding down, 1 and 2. And then lastly, we need to work on our little pallet here. So let's do this. We're going to bring it out. And I think we're going to do a 3x3. Probably makes the most sense in terms of size. Now the question is, can I sit hay bales nicely on here? And we can. And so what we're going to try to do, is have, you know, a couple facing different directions and whatnot. Can I do it this way, or does that not? You know, it doesn't really work. All right. But we can go like that. And if we do there and there, and then there. I think that works. And then I know this is sort of a lame end to it, but let's stick a lever on here. Just to make it look like there's some action that can happen. In fact, there is some action that can happen. Check it out. We can open and close. Well, yeah, we can open and close a trapdoor. That's great, except it's the opposite. There we go. All right. And there we are, guys. I think it looks pretty good, honestly, for a first attempt. This is truly the first crane I've ever built. I'm sure there's some, especially some like detailing things that I could do to make it look better. And so maybe we will work with it over time and, get it to a place we're happier with. But I think it matches the build well. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. All right, so next up, I think the next order of business is going to be to put a little sort of subdock or boat slip down here. I'm not sure if that's the proper term, but I think you'll get the idea of what I'm looking to do pretty quickly. And I think what we'll need to do is we can move out with these trapdoors. I think 3 is about right for a depth, but I'm not going to be able to connect them this way. Because they'll go on in the wrong orientation. So what I'm going to do is just put some temporary blocks along the side here, and that will give me something to attach the trapdoors to. And then we could just sort of sneak along, put our first one in, and then we'll destroy the temporary blocks here. There might be a better way of doing that. If there is, and you know what it is, let me know. But I think with the blocks that are have a singular are directional based, are have directionalism to them. Anyways, I think with those blocks, there's not really much else you can do aside from put a temporary block down and do what you need to do, and then yeah. So we have a couple problems over here on shore in that we have our nice little boat rack here. We have a little campfire and our chairs over there. But we have all of our storage and all of our smelting tools still just sort of sitting on the ground on the beach. And so what I would like to do is make a barge next to our new little dock here, next to our sort of boat slip, and have that barge be sort of our smelting spot. We'll put a super smelter on there with mine carts. Nothing crazy. I don't know, maybe like 8 furnaces or so. That seems like a reasonable array. And that way we can get this all of this stuff off of the beach, and then we'll work on storage in the future. That's definitely storage is definitely not going to be a today thing. But so yeah, so I'm going to do a little resource gathering, and then we'll get back and we'll build the barge, and we'll build the super smelter. So one thing I'd like to do is start sort of a team of animal friends, of furry friends, and I've spotted a couple wolves here, and so we're going to see if we can tame one. I have 15 bones. Oh, there we go. We got one. Let's see. What did that take? That took 6. Come on, buddy. Come on with me. Yeah. All right. Let's see if this guy... Oh, man, with 1 bone. Okay, that's 2. We got 2 wolves. Oh, wait, there's a whole pack. Let's see. This guy wants a bone. Oh, yeah, that's a good boy. I think we have 4 name tags. Oop, hang on, buddy. Come on. There we go. All right. Look at that. We got 4 buddies all with us now. That is awesome. All right, we're gonna go back to the base. We're just over the hill here, so we're gonna head back to the base with our new friends, and we'll find them spots there for now. If you all could help me with names, that would be great. Like I said, I do think I have 4 name tags down here back at the base, and I'd love to get some cool names for these guys. So let me know what you think, and we'll name them in the next episode. All right, so first thing we're going to need for our super smelter is a whole bunch of furnaces. We're not going to need 29 of them, though. I think, let's do 12 just to, have a nice round number. Next up, we are going to need a whole bunch of hoppers. So we are going to make, in turn, a whole bunch of chests. We're going to need some chests too. I think we're going to need 2 hoppers, essentially, for each furnace. 1 input and 1 output, I think is how that's going to work. So that would be like 24, plus at least 4 more chests for input and output of the total. So that'll cover us for chests, and then we need, we're going to say 24 hoppers. I'm going to say 26 hoppers just to be safe. I think I might be off by a few. And in turn, that means I'm going to need a couple more chests. We'll just make some extras. All right, so 8 chests, 26 hoppers, 12 furnaces. That should get us pretty close. We do need some powered rails. Let's see what we can afford as far as powered rails go. So would that give us 12? 12 should be plenty. So to start this barge, I think we're going to do it with oak slabs. And, or at least mostly with oak slabs. And we are just going to go the length of what our barge is going to look like, parallel to our little mini dock, our little lower dock area. And we're not going to put ends on it just yet, because I'm honestly not sure how large we're going to need it. I'm not sure how large we're going to need it to be. So we're just going to put a floor in. And then we'll bring the floor out. Let's see, what is that? Is that 5? I think 5 blocks should be enough. We'll just need to figure out like how much space we need for all the, for the furnace array. But I think this should be enough. And if not, we can always expand it. Now we are going to have to take the water out of this thing, which is kind of unfortunate, because I think we have to do it a bucket at a time. I don't think there's a better way, or I guess we could fill it up. We could do that. We could fill it up with sand or something, or any other block, and then just break them if it's sealed up and there's no water sources. So we're gonna have to sort of figure that out. All in due time. We'll get there. And now we'll put our stairs on this side as well, just running all the way down the side of the barge. Now I want to sort of do the ends here because we're going to need to do that if we want to actually use this thing. So let's do one of these. And we'll do the same over here. And then we will extend out 3 more here, 3 more spots here, and then we can do, something like this. Make an end, and then down here, it should want to connect. Yep, okay, very good. It wants to connect just like that, which is what we want. Now this can't connect though, right? Yeah, I don't think there's a great way of connecting that. So I think what we'll do is we'll just use a slab on the top there. So now, how do you get this thing empty of water? What is the quickest way? Do we think laying down blocks is, and then just mining them? I guess that could be the way. We're still going to have to bail out the stairs, I believe. The stair blocks, because they're going to remain waterlogged. So yeah, this is what we'll do. We'll fill it in with planks. So we're just finishing up bailing out the water from the waterlogged stairs, and the nice thing is you can use the back of the next stair to dump the water as long as it is waterlogged, because you can't really make it any more waterlogged than it already is. All right, and now the true test. If we break these blocks, do we remain buoyant? We do. It's looking good. Okay. So we're going to break these blocks out, and then we'll get started on the actual smelter. Okay, so we have our hollowed out barge here. I think it's time to get going on the actual super smelter sort of portion of it. And then what we'll do is we will we'll try to build, and make it more sort of aesthetically pleasing after we have the super smelter in and we know it all fits correctly. All right, so what we're going to do to start this thing off is we are going to go 2 blocks out from the back of the front of the barge, the side of the barge. And we are going to put a chest in, a double chest right here. And actually, you know what? We are going to orient this chest. See, 1, 2. We're going to orient the chest this way. We'll see if that works or not. And then we are going to put hoppers facing into that chest. And these are going to be the base that our furnace sits on. So we have 12 of them there. And now the easy thing to do is we're just going to do a furnace on top of each one. And that way, whatever items are finished smelting in that furnace will just go into the hoppers and they'll all proceed down the run. Last 2 furnaces on. So we have our array to some extent. Now what we're going to need is hoppers along the back of the furnaces pointing inwards. This will be how the fuel gets in. We can have some blocks behind here as a stop because we'll need something to bounce our minecart back. Same on this side as well. All right, taking a quick break from what we're doing. I just want to share this. This is the first time I've ever crafted a spyglass, and let me tell you, I have been waiting to say this for a long time. Aha! I know you guys really appreciate that. Personal goals, you gotta care. You gotta have priorities, All right, so returning to our build, we are going to put hoppers down on top of all the furnaces, and this is where the items to be smelted are going to be going. And then similarly, we are going to run. Oh, good. The rails actually went the correct way too. That's wonderful. Although I put one too many on there, and as soon as I break it, it's going to go into the hopper. Yep. We'll pick it up at the other end. So yeah, we're going to have 2 rails there. And then down at this end, we're going to do the same thing as we did below. The only way I know to power these rails, because you don't want to lock the hoppers, is if you put a block here and then a lever, it will power both rails. I assume a redstone block would do the same thing if we had a redstone block or a block of redstone. So we'll do this on both sets of our rails. All right, so for the area where the mine carts are going to be loaded and unloaded, we need more powered rails. I've had to go through this a few times because I will admit I'm not very good with redstone. And I've sort of lacked the understanding as to how to get this working correctly. There's a lot of rules with minecarts that I wasn't aware of as far as like, what kind of blocks they actually interact with and whatnot. Like you do need solid blocks at the end of one of these runs, which I was not aware of. So we're going to try this first. If this doesn't work, we might need to put the minecarts at an angle, forcing them to sort of interact with the block next. Okay, so they go down, and they bounce back, and they go down, and they bounce back, right? Okay, now we're going to turn it off, and they stay. Okay, that's great. Now, if I turn it back on, do they go? They do. Okay, all right, I'm pretty happy with this then. All right, so let's test this. This system out here. Now I don't see. Can I get in there? No, I can't. All right, so we're gonna have to work on that because I definitely want to be able to get into the. I definitely want to get into both chest mine carts. From the front of the machine. So let's see. This is going to be our fuel. So we are going to put our coal in there. And then minecart with chest. This is going to be what's smelted, so we're going to put our logs in there. And we turn this on, theoretically... Oh, that's interesting. So we made one other change, and I'm going to have to figure out why. I'll have to look it up afterwards, but the back minecart, I ended up having to switch to a hopper minecart. I'm not sure why it makes a difference, since the top one seems to work just fine, but it was not distributing fuel into any of the furnaces, or actually it wasn't distributing fuel into any of the hoppers, except for the one on the far left, on the first position. Like I said, I'm gonna have to look up and see why that is, but it's working fine now. And as we can see, if we go down here, we have a ton of charcoal already being smelted. It's pretty great. So yeah, I would call this a success. Now we definitely have to make this a little more visually appealing. Make it look like it makes a little more sense in our area here. So that's going to be what's next. Alright guys, we finished what we're going to get through this episode. So we got our pretty awesome looking crane, I think, back here. And then we got our super smelter. I added a little plank way to get to it with some little trapdoors on the side, just to, I think it makes it look nicer. We still have to do the back side of it as far as like decorating it and making it look like a real barge. But we're, well on our way. Thank you, as always, for watching this episode. I really appreciate it. Next episode, we're probably going to get into some more exploring, and I think it might be time to start at least finding ourselves some villagers to help us in this world, but we'll see. I'm trying to keep it kind of wide open. If you have questions or comments, please put them down there in the comments, and also please remember I need four names for our dogs, so please be generous on that front. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Y'all take care, and we'll see you soon.